Hello, everyone. It is Rob here from Woodward English. How has your weekend been? It is Monday morning here in New Zealand. So, our weekend is already over. I had a very busy weekend, and I hope you're all doing very well. Great to see so many familiar faces dropping by. We got Jacqueline, we got Ivan, we got Lolly, we got Sandra, Yusuf, Glider. We got so many wonderful people that have come on and joined us today. Okay, so today's topic is about bad habits. That's what we're going to talk about today. I have a reading text, like an article, and there's going to be some vocabulary in there. And at the same time, we're going to have a relaxed conversation about bad habits. This is your opportunity to leave comments in the chat, to practice your English. Okay. So just before we begin, I want to show you, if you're a channel member here, thank you very much. Lolly, Sandra, Iran have turned up today. Hello. And if you haven't seen it already, channel members, you can download this here about the bad habits. It's a thing. Yeah, you can download it, you can print it, you can use it in your classrooms later if you're a teacher, or just for self-study. And if you're not already a channel member, click the join button, which is around here somewhere. Okay, so let us begin. The question is, what is a bad habit? What is a bad habit? What is a bad habit? Hello. Oh, look at lots of new people here. Hey, Umi, good to see you too. Hello, Vanessa. What is a bad habit? What is it? You say, I don't know because I'm just so perfect. What is a bad habit? What do you think a bad habit is? What is a good habit? What is a habit? It's something. Okay, let's have a look. Here they come. Okay, so it's a negative behavior. Yeah, it's a negative behavior. It's something negative. Yes. An example. Carlos has given an example of a bad habit. Smoking is a bad habit. So how many bad habits can you think of? A bad habit can hurt you. Yes, a bad habit can hurt you. It can have some type of negative effect on your body, your health, your mind, your productivity. So what time? So bad habits. Overthinking and worrying too much. That could be for you. It's a bad habit. Hey, Kalina, good to see you. So gossip is a bad habit also. That's a good one. What are some bad habits that you can think of? So it's a bad behavior. So we've got smoking, we've got gossip, overthinking and worrying too much. We've had some good examples. Well, I have, a bad habit affects you physically, mentally, and maybe productively. Someone saw the article. But yes, it is. And it's great because you use the affect. Affect with an A is the verb. What's the difference between affect, the effect? Affect is the verb. Effect with an E is the noun, is a noun. Okay. Sleeping too late, that's a bad habit. Yeah, like this morning. I gotta be live in 2 minutes. No. It wasn't like that. Too much screen time before bed is a bad habit. Exactly. Is a bad habit. Singular, so this has to be singular too. A habit. Okay. The Hobbit's house. Yes, we're talking about habits, not hobbits. I just thought, okay, I'll just use a Hobbit's house. Do hobbits have bad habits? Do hobbits have bad habits? I have no idea. This is in New Zealand, so yeah. Hi, Icing. Good to see you. Drinking so much. Yes, that can be, because drinking's okay. Just drinking too much, that's a bad habit. Okay, let's go to what I've got written here. So remember, you got this article if you're a channel member. Okay, let's have a look. A habit, just a habit in general, not just a bad habit. A habit is something that we do regularly or repeatedly, often without thinking about it. So, for example, if someone's smoking, they do it without thinking. That's a bad habit, of course. Or some like habits are like gossiping. They just do it naturally. They're like, oh, did you know? Blah 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 blah, etc. So yeah, so a bad habit is a repetitive action that is wrong or negative. Overspending is some people like to spend too much. Biting nails, that's a great one. Like you biting your nails, that's a great habit. Some people don't know. They do it regularly. They do it regularly, repeatedly, and without thinking about it. They're like, they don't know. They're suddenly biting their nails. And the mother comes along like, whoosh, what are you doing? Well, that was my case. That happened to me. For example, brushing your teeth before bed is a good habit, okay? Because it helps keep your teeth healthy. Remember, teeth is plural, and one tooth is singular, okay? Ooh, another habit is don't pick your nose. It's disgusting. Pick your nose. You got your finger and you. Oh, you did. Well, you just saw me a moment ago. Like, I've got 30 seconds left to do it before I start my live stream. Get everything cleaned out. Yeah, I go live for the channel members, and they see all of my bad habits: picking my nose and drinking too much and gossiping. They see all of these things happening. So yeah, that's another bad habit. So a good habit is over here, is because it helps us keep our teeth healthy. However, sometimes we develop habits that are not good for us or that have negative consequences. Okay, and these habits are called bad habits. Now, give me not your bad habits, give me some bad habits. They're not necessarily your bad habits. So, for example, there was something else. So about the nose picking, that's another one. So you can pick something on your skin, pick something up, but picking your nose is when you put your finger up your nose and try and get big pieces of snot. That's a word you actually need to know. Snot. I'll put that up on the screen. Here it is. Snot. It's a terrible word. Okay. What is our classes sometimes they're very elegant, they're very classy, very royal. It's like they're appropriate when you talk to a king or queen. Okay. So snot, you need to know this when you talk to a king or a queen. No. It's like the mucus, and it's the bleh in your for example, no, I'm not just kidding. For example, yeah, it's like in your nose. So this is it's not like colloquial, it's like just an informal way of saying the green things up your nose. This is useful information, especially if you have kids or babies, because it's not everywhere on the walls, on the ceiling. Oh, no, just kidding. Okay, so you need to know these words. Okay, so I'll go back up to the chat again, see if I missed anything. Here's another one, Kaline. Chewing with your mouth open. Now, this is interesting. I was going to put this on my list. Now, for example, in New Zealand, I know in Chile, and I know in many countries, if someone eats with their mouth open, it is considered a bad habit. And many parents, they tell their children, eat with your mouth closed. Be quiet when you're eating. The thing is, in some countries, especially in Southeast Asia or in Asia in general, there are countries where it is common to eat with your mouth open, and it's not considered a bad habit. And I remember I was talking about this with someone, and they from Korea, for example, and they said that they do it intentionally because when you eat with your mouth open, you can taste the food better, because for some reason the air, the oxygen, or something goes into your mouth, and you can taste the food better. So I thought, okay, I will try it. And then whoosh, I get a slap in the back of the head like that. So I was, and it does have like a more, maybe not intense flavor, but you can feel the flavors more. So it's interesting, this here, chew with your mouth open. So in some countries, it's considered a bad habit. And in some countries, it's considered normal or accepted. Or sometimes if you don't do it, it's like, okay, that looks strange. So that's an interesting about, the habits, which includes eating, making sounds. Exactly. And sometimes some cultures, they intentionally make sounds when they eat, like, because it's like shows that they're enjoying the food. So it's an interesting thing, all of this. So what is a bad habit for one person might not be a bad habit for another person. For me, for example, a bad habit is, when someone eats with their mouth, it's like, close your mouth. That's just me and us. Yes, that's us in general. So what else have we got here? So we've got the eating, sleeping after eating. Okay, because remember, if we have a preposition after, the next verb needs to be a verb ing, a gerund. After eating, sleeping after eating. After, for example, after drinking a bottle of milk, I sometimes feel sleepy. Okay, after drinking, after eating, after going to, after scratching. Okay, so we always have the preposition plus the gerund. So I have a question for you. So is eating with your mouth open in your country, is it normal or is it considered a bad habit? So put your country, like Brazil, bad habit. New Zealand, bad habit. Okay, so put that. I'm curious to know. I'm very curious to know. Okay, so what else we got up here? Going up the top again so I don't miss anything. Procrastination is a bad habit. Okay, what is procrastination? Procrastination is when you have something to do at work, at home, or for school, but you don't do it immediately. You leave it till later. And you always, no, later, in 5 tonight I'll do it. And then tonight comes, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, I'll do it tomorrow. And it just, you avoid doing something. You avoid usually a responsibility. Okay, so that is what procrastination is. And procrastination can also be a bad habit, especially if it's chronic and you just don't do things in your life that you need to do. Some people, for example, do you procrastinate sometimes? I sometimes procrastinate. It's like, oh no, I have to do this. But you sort of like leave it, and then, okay, I will do it. But once it's finished, it's like, it's wonderful. So what else we got there? Being a couch potato. This is a great idiom. What is a pouch potato? It's the morning here. I say strange things in the morning and in the afternoon. Okay. It just in general, that's me. Being a couch potato. This is a great expression in English, an idiom, in fact. I think we actually have a video about couch potato, being a couch potato. It's someone that spends a lot of time sitting on the couch, or sometimes it's called a sofa, a couch sofa. It can be an armchair too. and they're just watching TV all day. They're just like, hey, let's go outside and go for a walk, or let's go to the park, or let's go to a restaurant, or let's go out. And they're just just sitting on watching TV the whole time without using any energy, often eating things. And yeah, that's what a couch potato is. Any couch potatoes here? Are you a couch potato? So yeah. What else we got there? What else is there? Procrastinating is another one. Eating with your mouth open. Ooh, negative self-talk. That can be a very, that's a common bad habit. It's like you're like thinking or talking about yourself in a negative way. Like in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I'm no good for this. I'm not, I can never do this. I'm stupid. I will never learn. That is negative self-talk. And the problem is with negative self-talk is like if you think that you're not good at something, you'll never be good at something, because in your brain it makes connections about, there are these connections that happen in your brain with your thoughts. Okay, like when you're learning something, it's making connections. When you're learning English or something, it's making connections. Everything you do, it's making new connections in your brain. And if you're constantly negative, if you're constantly saying bad things to yourself, not necessarily to other people, but bad things like, oh, I'm stupid, I'm stupid, I'm stupid. And then in your brain learns that, okay, I am stupid. It's like you have this thing and it's like, I can't learn. So your brain thinks that I'm not able to learn. And your brain is incredibly powerful. How you think is very powerful. I know there's lots of people that have this topic. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like just the power of your mind and your thoughts is incredibly strong. You can achieve so many things with your mind, with your brain. So if you're being negative about yourself, it's not a good thing. And the problem is it's very difficult to get out of that. Don't worry, can be difficult to get out of that negative self-talk. Another great example, too much screen before bed. Okay, how many of you are guilty of this? How many? I say, okay, typical English teacher, do you have any bad habits? And the students, no, I'm perfect. No, I don't have any bad habits. Do you do this? Yeah, okay, yes. Do you watch TV? Yes, I do. So you got like many bad habits. And this is one of the, nowadays, not in my time, not in ancient times, not in prehistoric times, but here, too much screen. Okay, the screen, you have a cell phone, a mobile phone, you look at the screen. My monitors have a screen, but typical screen refers to your phones nowadays. So you spend a lot of time on the screen, and it's not good before bed, because there's something to do with blue light in your brain's like, it's like, hey, this is great, we don't need to go to sleep, look at this. And especially if you're looking at TikTok or those short videos, like wow, it's like your brain gets this. Yeah, it's not very good before bed. And not exercising, guilty. But I did some exercise yesterday. Walking to the fridge? No. No, we did some exercise yesterday. It was a great walk. Okay, so that can also be a bad habit, because it has negative effects on your body. Or lying when caught off. Lying in general, doesn't matter if you get caught or not, because if you don't get caught, it's not a bad habit. So lying when caught off guard. So lying, yes, that is also a bad habit. It's like some people they're like, sometimes people lie because they want to appear like they are someone that they're not. They lie about, for example, about doing things. And if you say, I went to this restaurant. Oh yeah, I went to a restaurant too yesterday. It's like sometimes people lie just for appearances. Biting your nails. Yep, that's another great one. People bite their nails. Not getting enough sleep is a bad habit, teacher. I know. I should sleep more. I do too much shopping on the internet stores. Yes. That can be a bad habit. It's like you just, oh, that's nice, shiny. That can also be another bad habit. Self-murmuring. Okay, to murmur is like to talk very quietly, it's like you just talk very quietly, like you just talk to yourself. Okay, that can be a bad habit sometimes. Oh, lolly, these are awesome. Burp. I'll give you some examples. No, wait. Burp is when you expel air from inside and it comes out like that. That's a burp when it comes out this direction. But a fart when it comes out the other direction, out the other is one side or the other. Burp, fart. I told you the vocabulary that you learned today, you can have a polite conversation with the king or queen. So yeah, when you part with people, if you do it at home, no problem. If you do it in the bathroom, no problem. Don't do it on people. That's a bad habit. You can do it next to them. No. But yeah, just don't do it with other people. Try to avoid that. Gossip. Gossip is singular. Okay, gossip. We don't say, oh, his gossips. No, it's just gossip as a noun. It's uncountable. It's just gossip, uncountable. Okay. Ooh, grinding your teeth. Okay, it can be a bad habit, but many times it happens. You're not awake when it happens. Grinding is like, this is to grind. This is to grind something. Okay, so you're grinding. Now, some people grind their teeth, and this happens at night when people are their teeth. It's just because of the, I'm not too sure why. I'm not a doctor. It's like people, I'm sorry? You can't control it. Just people grind their teeth. It's a bad habit, but you cannot control it. It's just something that happens like, yeah. Because I think it could be because of stress or something like that. Tension. Just some people do it just because, I don't know why. But yeah, it can be a bad habit because it can cause problems. So lying is another bad habit. Exactly. In Spain, it's a bad habit. That eating with your mouth open. In Spain, it's a bad habit. In Brazil, it's a bad habit too. That's good. Good to hear. Procrastination, overspending, slouching. Oh, slouching. That's a good one. So slouching is when you don't stand up straight. You're like in your chair, like teenagers, typical teenagers. They're just like slouching all the time. They're like this because their bodies are like, they're getting taller, teenagers, and they just like, oh, not only teenagers. Okay. Exactly. So that's a great one, Glider. That's a cool one. Watching too much TV. So watching too much TV is a bad habit. Oh, good. In Japan, when we eat noodles, slurping is normal. Well, it's difficult to eat noodles without slurping. Like you try it, it's like it just happens naturally. You try to be quiet, but it's like, no, it's not the same. Yeah, I totally understand that, Umi. Binge drinking. Okay, so binge drinking is a great expression, Lolly. Glad you put it there. Binge drinking. Binge means when you do something a lot, one after another, after another, after another, after another. You just do it a lot. Okay. For example, you can binge drinking. You just drink and drink and drink. Oh, look, mentioning this. Hello, Jorge. How's it going? So binge drinking is an awful habit. But you can binge a TV. Just by coincidence, Jorge's comments is next. It's the universe. It's just trying to tell you something. But you can also binge a TV series, like binge Netflix or binge Amazon or whatever other Disney. You binge it, which means you just watch it one after another. You don't stop. Binge drinking, you drink and drink, you don't stop. Okay, so that's a great expression. Thank you for that one, Lolly. That's awesome. Okay. I'm doing fine now. Talking about bad habits, slurping food, it's really, really annoying. Yes. So in Chile, it's also considered that. In Brazil, chewing with your mouth open is a bad habit. Exactly. Yes, I don't know if it's a bad habit or something cultural. Canada embraces diversity as multicultural. It is amazing. You learn something every day. Yeah. So it depends on the culture. So some countries, it is considered a bad habit, but in some countries it's normal. So it's something you have to be aware of. So you have to be aware of this if you're with other people, because some cultures, they do it. Okay. Backbiting. I just think of the literally like, hey, biting people's back, like, and stop biting my back, because I can't do it to myself. I tried, but I'm not that flexible. But backbiting is like gossiping. It's like talking behind someone's back. Okay, talking behind someone's back means it's like, oh, do you know Anne? She, oh, do you know Rob? He, it's like talking negatively about someone. So, for example, he is always talking behind. No, look at this one. He was talking behind my back. There it is. Can you put that on the screen, please? So I'm going to keep this in here. So talking behind your back is when, for example, he was talking behind my back is like, I discovered that John was talking behind my back because Mary told me, or Mary was lying. We don't know because she likes to gossip. But anyway, so it's like he was saying negative. Oh, Rob, he beep, 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 beep. That is to talk behind someone's back, which, yes, is, it can be like, yeah, this is an example. He was talking behind my back. She was talking behind my back means she was saying negative things to me or about me. Or if like, if for example, if Ange says, yeah, but no, you don't say backbiting. It's talking behind your back. That's what you're saying. Okay. So another one is interfering in other lives, because it can be negative or positive. It can be negative or positive, depends. Interfering normally refers to negative in a way. It's like interfering is like to interrupt in a negative way. But if you interfere in someone's life because you see them drinking too much alcohol, you want them to stop. So yeah. Okay. So what else? You got all of these topics here. This is brilliant. This is great. What else we got there? We have eating when you are not hungry, sleeping with makeup on. I eat when I'm not hungry. Yeah, you can sort of notice it. But that could be a bad habit. Sleeping with makeup on. That could be a bad habit because your face, I don't know, it becomes like I don't know, it does something to your face, but it could be a bad habit. Okay, before I continue, I'll go to your next comment next, Lolly. We will continue with this reading. Examples of bad habits might include things like smoking cigarettes, or just smoking in general. You don't need cigarettes at the end. Biting your nails, procrastinating on important tasks, or eating too much junk food, which has just been mentioned now. Especially junk food. There are people that eat a lot of junk food. It's like an addiction in a way. That can be a bad habit, especially not very good for your body. So these habits can be harmful to our health, our relationships, or our productivity. And they can be difficult to break once they become ingrained. Now, ingrained, it means just, okay, let's look at wood. Okay, looking at wood. Wood has grain. It's like the pattern, and it's fixed, it's stuck, it doesn't change. It's like the pattern of wood when you cut it. It's like the rings or whatever. But when something is ingrained, it means it's fixed and it just doesn't change, or it's very difficult to change. Okay, something is ingrained. It's like it's very stuck. It's very, for example, a bad habit can be ingrained in you, like positive thinking, negative thinking, anything can be ingrained in you. It's like, for example, family, it's like you can do it, you can succeed, you can do well, you can do this. This can be ingrained in a child where they know, or they think they can always do well, and then the reality is it doesn't always happen. But yeah, it can be ingrained in a person, means fixed as a part of them, as a part of that person. Okay, so another example, smoking is bad for your health. Exactly. Hello, Carlos. Carlosis, that's it. And also, I never say negative for myself, negative things. That's great. It can be hard because, like, sometimes I think negative things about myself. It's just a part of human nature. But the thing is, doing it all of the time can be very, very negative. Oh, look at this one. Talking during a movie. And shut up. Or, okay, people I know go to the movies and they eat popcorn. That's typical in eating things. But when they open up packets, like, and it takes them like 5 hours to open a packet of crisps or chips or something. It's like, and they do it quietly, but it's like, it's like, just do it quickly once, go. Oh, I remember once we're at the movies, like a number of years ago, many years ago, and there's a person, we're like near the middle, and he was like just near the end, and I don't know how he did it. He was eating popcorn, but everyone in the movie theater and the cinema could hear him eat it. I don't know how he did it. It made so much noise. Everyone was like, shh. And he's just like, I think he probably did it intentionally, because I don't know how you can make that noise so loud. You eat popcorn, yeah, you make a noise, but he was doing like, you can hear it on the other side of the room. It's like, shut up. So I totally understand you, Lola, yeah. Ooh, this is a good expression. Throw it. It's not a good thing to do. It's a good expression. Don't do this at home, kids. This one, throw someone under the bus is a bad habit. What does this mean? Excuse me. Bad habit of throwing someone under the bus is when you... yeah, okay. Thank you. When you throw someone under the bus is when you say something negative about a person, and you're like, okay, for example, a person does something bad, like you're in a classroom and there's another student, and the student accidentally does something, often not intentional, sometimes intentional, and you say, teacher, look what he did, she did. You threw them under the bus, the school bus, no, any bus, because it's like when you say something like I can't remember the word for it in English. It's like when you say, this person is responsible. You tell on someone and you say that they are responsible for doing something, and the boss is angry, and the teacher or the boss or the other person is angry about that person, and you are the person that told is like, yeah. So that could be a bad habit. It could be, is it a good habit? It's probably a bad habit. It is a bad habit. Okay. Drinking alcohol, it could also be a disease if you have too much of it. Oh, yes. Using your phone at dinner. Using your phone at dinner. That's like, yeah, I mean, sometimes you can do it. It's like being a snitch, yeah. But using your phone at dinner is, like people just, or at a restaurant, hey, let's get together at a cafe, at a restaurant or a bar, and like on the phone, it's just like, fortunately, my friends don't do this. Fortunately, but there are some people, they do that. Exactly. Okay, we'll just go before I continue. Breaking a habit, or a bad habit, sorry, often requires a conscious effort to recognize when we are engaging in the habit. Okay, because many people don't know they have these bad habits. They don't know. So the first step is to realize, to make an effort. It's like, hey, I have a bad habit, and to try and replace it with a healthier or more positive behavior. And that can be the difficult part. But how can we break bad habits? Here's just one example. For example, if someone wants to break the habit of biting their nails, do you bite your nails? It's a bad habit. I recognize it. Sometimes I bite my nails. My toenails, no, just my fingernails. I don't bite my toenails. Bite toenails, that's disgusting and difficult. I can't reach my foot. I'm not flexible enough to reach my foot. I try every night. But yeah, sometimes I bite my nails. Do you bite your nails? It's a bad habit. It's one of the common ones. Okay, for example, if someone wants to break the habit of biting their nails, they might try to keep their hands busy with one of those stress balls. Stress balls. Yeah, or one of those fidget thingies. Fidget widget, whatever they're called. Or use bitter tasting. Okay, bitter is like a sour taste. It's like, ugh. Okay, it's like fruit when it is not ready to eat. It's like sour almost, like, ugh. So there are things you can put nail polish on your fingers, okay? And sometimes it has a taste of like, I don't know, like smelly fish that's been, I don't know, it has some type of, like, ugh, that makes you go like this. That can help you with your bad habit, okay? And putting this bitter tasting nail polish on the nails to discourage is like to help you not do something. I discourage you from jumping from that tree because you can hurt yourself. Okay, so let's look at some more examples in the chat. Overeating, that can be another. Playing slot machines, that's a bad habit. It can also be an addiction, like people put monies into things, ching, ching. That can be a bad habit. It can also become an addiction, which it can be not a very good thing. Ooh, cracking your knuckles, for example. Did you hear that? I saved it all weekend. It's like when you do this and it goes, makes that sound. It can be is it a bad habit, or is it just so cool? Is it a bad habit? What do you think? Is cracking your knuckles? Okay, if you do it at the table at the restaurant or something like that, yes, that's a bad habit. If you do it at home by yourself, that's okay, I think. I don't know. Is it a bad habit? Walking while you're rubbing the floor, or more specifically, we say scuffing the floor, like, yep, that's another one. Some people speaking too loud. Not you. Your sound is very good. Thank you. But speaking too loud. Some people, yeah, there's some nationalities. They just speak loudly. It's like, here I am. I want everyone to know where I'm from. I want everyone to know I'm here. Some people speak very loudly. Exactly. That can be a bad habit. Stress eating, watching too much TV, eating when you're not hungry. These are all great examples. Hello, Olga. Eating too much junk food. Exactly. Too much McDonald's. That can be a bad habit. Just junk food in general, but yeah, that one especially. What else we got there? Oh, when someone is fidgeting, it's painful for others. Yeah, so fidgeting is like, I just like moving around a lot. You just don't stay still, and it's like, you don't stop, just like calm down. But some people fidget and they cannot control it. But it starts as a bad habit. Okay, it starts as a little bit and then it just intensifies. So fidgeting is like just moving. Oh, this is a bad habit I hate. People that are texting or scrolling when they're driving or talking on the phone. This is not just a bad habit. It's a horrendous, terrible habit. And in New Zealand, it's against the lay. I think in many countries, it's against the lay. Against the law. Oh, it's the morning here. It's Monday morning. Expect this from me. Against the law. Yeah, it is. It's against the law. And that's a terrible one. Ooh, making decisions while you're angry is a bad habit. Yeah, that's a bad thing to do in general. Yeah, exactly. Leaving the lights on, that's another bad habit. Exactly. Because it's not helping the planet. Turn the lights off. Talking while not looking directly at the person is a bad habit. Oh, sorry. Because when I'm talking to Anna. Yeah, but in general, some people there's some people can be shy and they're just like, no. Yeah, talking without looking directly, without looking. Okay, here we have the preposition. Here we need a gerund. Talking without looking. Yep, talking, looking together, no problem. Talking without looking directly. Directly is an adverb. How do we look? Directly. So talking without looking directly at a person. It's also like can be unpolite. Oh, Iran, don't flush the toilet. That's a bad habit. It's like you go, oh my God. Oh God, is it alive? Please, people, flush the toilet. Okay, to flush the toilet. Flush is this is a great one, Iran. A great vocabulary. To flush the toilet is when you're in the toilet and you push those buttons or do this with the lever or pull the cord, depends on how old your toilet is, or you got a bucket of water, depends on your toilet. But modern toilets, they have a button, you press the button and all of the juices, all of the ingredients, the 5 kilos or whatever, it goes down the toilet. That's when you flush the toilet. And that is a terrible bad habit. Please, people, flush the toilet, because if you don't, it smells. It makes the toilet smell terrible. Yeah, so that's a terrible bad habit. Yeah. So it does, yeah, it does mean that what we're talking about is like to gossip, to talk behind someone's back. It's like gossiping. Here it is. This is interesting. To burp after eating is okay for Arabic people or Arab people. That means that the food was delicious for them, but it's a bad habit in France. I've heard about this in different countries where it's like, if you burp in some countries, it's like, oh, you enjoyed that. And the louder the burp, the more you enjoy it. So this is an interesting thing about habits. So one country, it's a habit. In one country, it's not a bad habit. Another country, it's accepted. Oh, he didn't burp. Oh, what a terrible habit. I can see it too, walking past. We've got a cat walking past us. It's not ours. Okay, so what else is there? Over-information. Too much news can be a bad habit, especially because a lot of the news is negative. So it can, it does some things in your brain, like you think the whole world is negative. Over information, too much. No, like too much, watching too much news, I think, because if you're watching too much news, they got cat jumping and jump or not? I've got this bum in my face. It's like trying to jump off the fence. Anyways, but like I said, over information. I didn't need to give you so much information. I gave you too much news of what's happening right in front of me because I'm looking out the window. Got my camera and I can look out the window. Got the monitors up here and I got this cat there. And yeah, too much information. Being too bossy. Yeah, some people are too bossy. Bossy is like when they want to control everything. Fortunately, you're not bossy. I'm behaving myself today. You're not bossy. I'm not bossy ever. Okay. So bossy is like when you try and control the situation all the time. You try to control everything. It's like, no, do this, do that, don't do that, don't wear that, don't say that, don't do that, don't. If you've got a boyfriend or girlfriend and the person is bossy, they're not going to change when you're married. It's just going to intensify. So be careful. Being overly messy. Are you looking at my desk right now? I feel like you're watching me. Being overly messy, disorganized are bad habits. Yes, they can be bad habits. But some people, they need a messy desk because they think, or it probably is true too, they know where everything is. And people, they see it as like, your desk is a mess. It's like, no, this is my structure. I know, and if my notes are over here and this is over here, and they know where everything is. So for one person, it may be messy or disorganized, but for the other person, if you're a teenager, it's messy. Clean your room now. There's no excuse. Yeah, it's not like I know where everything is. No, just clean your room. Okay, so what else we got here? Not sleeping 8 hours a day. Some people cannot sleep 8 hours a day. In theory, you need to sleep 8 hours a day. I can't do it. I don't know if it's a bad habit or it's just something. Okay, this is interesting. Going to someone else's house unannounced. Okay, some people just turn up. I think it depends on the person. For example, if some of my friends come to my house and they don't let us know, it's like I usually have no problem. It depends on the person. It depends on the friends. For example, if my sister turns up, it's like no problem. Close friends that we're always with, just turn up, no problem. But there's sometimes other people, not necessarily friends, they just turn up as like, okay, what do you want? They're usually coming for a reason. Okay, so usually when they come unannounced, sometimes it's for a reason. If they come with a bottle of something, no problem. Welcome, my friend. Your name is, sorry? Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, Umi, for improving the level of our conversation. I'm not the only one that's doing it. In Japan, we hate farting more than burping. Okay, that's good to know. That's actually great to know. I'm gonna next time I'm in Japan, avoid farting as much as I do now. Being a snitch also. Yeah, being a snitch. Okay, snitch is like telling on someone. It's like talking behind someone. I know, it's like, what was the other expression we mentioned before? Like being a snitch, like he did it, she did it. That's being a snitch. Overspending, gambling, these are all more examples of bad. This class is similar to my psychology classes. What? Isn't we are like everything I say is an example that is shown your psychology class? So you're okay. So okay, I'm imagining your psychology class now. I'm your psychology teacher. Okay. Today, we're going to see some examples of abnormal, terrible habits of people. Go watch this YouTube channel called Woodward English. These are classic examples of psychological problems. Look at this teacher. He needs help. How would you help this person? The reality is he cannot be helped. Yes. Okay. So here's another. What do you call a nun? Okay, a nun is that bites her nails. A bad habit. That's a good joke, that one. Okay, I'm not going to go try and explain jokes. Doesn't happen. Just keep breaking someone talking. It's like interrupting a person can be a bad habit. Exactly. But yes, Sandra, breaking a bad habit requires patience. And I want it now. Breaking a bad habit requires patience, persistence, and conscious effort. It's not going to happen from one day to the next. It takes time. So all of your habits of gambling and cracking your knuckles and everything like this that all of you have and staying up late, yes, those they take time, and you need patience trying to break these habits. So we can say here, in summary, a bad habit is a behavior that we regularly engage in that has negative consequences for our health, well-being, and productivity. Breaking a bad habit often requires a conscious effort, exactly like what Sandra said, and patience and persistence. You need to just don't do it once, do it again and again. Okay. So breaking a bad habit often requires conscious effort with a commitment to replacing the habit with a healthier behavior. Exactly. So I'm going to show you the next screen, which is a list of common bad habits. Some of these we've already talked about. And let's go look more an example, more examples. I think cracking your knuckles is an annoying habit rather than a bad habit. I think that's true, Cassie. For some people, it's a bad habit. Depends where you do it. It can be an annoying habit or it could be a bad habit. It all depends on where. Slamming the door is another one. Teenagers, fortunately, our teenagers don't do that at all. Good. But sometimes people just slamming the door in your face. Okay, when you arrive home at 4 o'clock in the morning, yeah, okay. So it's I waste a lot of time on series binging series on Netflix or watching series on Netflix. Is that a bad habit? There are some educational things on Netflix too. That's not necessarily a bad habit. This is something that I hate also. Spitting in public areas. Okay. And there are some countries that do this as a habit. And in New Zealand, it's not a habit of people here in New Zealand to do, but now you will see signs written in different languages which say don't spit, because some cultures, they just spit on the floor. And I find that is one of the disgusting things. So spitting in public areas is not just a bad habit, it's a disgusting habit. Repeating yourself, you think that's a bad habit? Repeating yourself, do you think that's a bad habit? Okay. Repeating yourself, do you think that's a bad There's no hope for me. You fell for it. You're like waiting for no recycling with a Y. No recycling, that can be it's just bad for the planet. Exactly. Sour grapes. Yeah, that comes from The Fox and the Grapes by Aesop. That's a great fable. Addiction to anything is a bad habit. Exactly. Yeah, I'm just going to ignore that topic. I'm going to. One second. No, in a second. Being workaholic is a bad habit. That is so true. Some people just work and work and work and work without, sometimes when it's not necessary. But being a workaholic can be a bad habit, and it's not good for your partner. You should spend more time with your partner. Sometimes I work too much, but yes, it is being a workaholic is a bad habit. I'm going to ignore this topic. Ghosting people. Okay, what is ghosting people? Okay, this is, for example, in modern society with the technological age, the technological age, where people do not respond to your messages, your texts, your text, for example, on WhatsApp or by phone or whatever, or on Facebook or Instagram, I don't know, whatever it is. You see, anywhere that you send a message and the person avoids responding. And I think, I don't know, it's typical with when people are dating and one of the two people, they're not interested in the other person, so they just don't comment, like, hey, do you want to meet again for a date? And the person's like, beep. It's like a silence. They don't respond. Hey, did you get my message? And there's silence. That is ghosting. So ghosting is because a ghost is like a transparent symbol. Transparent spirit in a way. It's just like you cannot see it sometimes. So they just disappear. So that's a great example, Tomek, of a bad habit, ghosting people. And it's like, respond to the comment, damn you. I mean, and I think it happens more when people are trying to establish a relationship. It's not really with good friends, maybe people that you sort of know, maybe from work, or I always associate it with dating and things like that. All of this happened before my time, because before my time, we didn't have modern cell phones. You have to call someone on a phone, remember that? We had to like we didn't have those ones. No, at least we had the button ones. Hey, Ange, and we talk for hours. So it's hard to ghost. It's like, oh no, so is Ange there? And the mother says, nope, that's ghosting. And the mother's, or maybe just the mother-in-law is like, nah, she's, Rob, stop calling. And then Ange is like, why didn't you call? But I called. My mother-in-law watching you. So that's a type of old-time ghosting. It wasn't like that, because Ange was next to the phone 24 hours a day waiting for my call. Oh, no. Oh, for all of the calls from the multiple. But anyway, so we've got the ghosting, interrupting other people's speech, being a stalker. That's also probably illegal. More than a bad habit. I don't know. Is that a bad? Yeah. Okay. It's something negative. Is this a bad habit, being a stalker? Okay. Stalker is like you find. It could be a bad habit. It can also be illegal. Okay. A stalker is a person that tries to find out as much information as possible about a person, and they find out where the person lives, what they do, what they eat, what their star sign is, who their boyfriend is, or the girlfriend is, or wife or husband, and they try and find out as much as it. Is that a bad habit, or is it just something psychologically sick or something? It could be a bad. I think it's like more than a bad habit. I think it's just like, yeah. Yeah, so like stalking your kind English teacher. Yeah, don't do this, kids. What about this throwing cigarettes? Oh, that's a bad smoking is a bad habit. And then throwing the cigarettes, yeah, on the floor, that's just disgusting habits. People, come on, stop these bad habits of throwing. If you're going to have a bad habit, put your cigarette butt. Okay, the end of a cigarette is called a butt. Yep, it's like the other butt that you have that you sit on. Same thing. Just imagine. So every time you see someone's cigarette, they're smoking someone's butt. Just think of that. That's how disgusting it is. And they put it on the floor. It's just like, come on. It's just, and it's usually the people that smoke that they do these types of things. They don't have any, they have less education, and they just, Anyway. Hi, Guy. How's it going? So eating too much junk food. What else we got there? Hello, Diana. How's it going? The only reason I'm doing it for you, Guy, because you frequently appear to our live stream. So I'll do that for your daughter. Hello, Diana. Okay. So, hanging up the phone and beep. Okay, just stop the live lesson. Hanging up the phone. Oh, in someone's face. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, that could be considered a. Okay, it can be something bad, or is it a bad habit? If they do it frequently, it's a bad habit. They need to do it frequently. You're addicted to English. That could be a bad. It could be a good habit. That's a good habit to have. Ah, yes. Eating regular honey when you can eat manuka honey. Do you know about the manuka honey? It's something that we typical of New Zealand, the manuka honey, because manuka is a type of local tree we have here in New Zealand, and they have these white flowers, and the property and what to do, the bees. Information about New Zealand. It's that time again. Okay, you're going to learn about New Zealand now. We have these trees called manuka trees, and they have these flowers, these white flowers. And the bees, when they pollinate and they get the nectar from the manuka tree. And these bees, they go back to their hive. This is where they live. They live in a hive. And it has a special flavor, a special taste. But more than a special taste, it has these special properties that are very good for your health. Amazing. Like they sell this type of honey, especially in yay, New Zealand time. It's like in China, and they buy lots of this because it has these special properties. So yeah, eating regular honey when you can beat manuka honey, if you try it, you will speak English fluently in 5 days. No, it has other properties that are good for your health. Wasting food. Oh, that's a bad. Some people, they eat half the food and they waste it. Oh, I don't like to waste food. I am full, but I will continue eating until I explode, basically. Eating Marmite. Oh, that's a bad habit. That's a disgusting. Marmite is, okay, it's New Zealand time again. Okay, eating Marmite. Okay, Marmite is another type of food from New Zealand. It tastes like fermented sock juice. That is all I'm going to say. Marmite, I know you're not going to sponsor me ever, so I'm going to say this. Our sponsor today is not Marmite because it tastes like fermented sock juice. And one day I said, hey, Rob, stop saying so many terrible things about Marmite. Okay, Marmite's this black thing you put in your bread. Oh, God. It's terrible. I will say lots of positive things about New Zealand, but a negative thing, Marmite. Gaslighting people, we've talked about that one too. It's like eating too much, shoplifting. Some people, that's just illegal. It's a bad habit for some people, but it's just illegal. I keep getting speeding tickets or tickets for speeding. It's a hard habit to break. But I need my sound effects for the terrible jokes that suddenly appear. I need that sound effect. Jumping the queue. Yep, that's a bad habit of some people. There's a bit of a typo there. Oversleeping, sleeping over, it's a bad habit. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oversleeping is a bad habit. Okay. So my question, yes, Marmite, yuck. Cassie knows. Where are you from, Cassie? And why have you had the unfortunate pleasure? It's not possible together. But anyway, of tasting Marmite. If you, no. One of these days, no, I'm not going to do that on screen. No, never. The Marmite, they're going to send us Marmite examples to the house, and it's like, as a part of the sponsorship, no. Oh, you're from the UK. Oh, so you get that sock juice there too. Oh, okay. Shoplifting is when people go into a shop and they steal little things, like sometimes chocolates or not little things. Sometimes they'll chuck a whole meat down their pants or whatever. That is shoplifting. This is something that's illegal. And for some people, it can be a bad habit because they cannot stop doing it. If they do it frequently, it can be a bad habit because it's like they enter a shop and they have to eat something. Okay. So Marmite is like Vegemite, just they're both terrible. Okay, Marmite is the New Zealand version. Vegemite is the Australian version, and they're both terrible. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll remember me and you'll think, Rob's always right. Okay, sometimes, many times I could be wrong. Once in 1982, I was wrong, but in general, I was right. Okay, so look at that last one here. What are some bad habits you have? You have a bad habit. Don't deny it. I know you have a bad habit. You have multiple bad habits. It's time to confess. Confess your bad habits. This is the moment so that I can use it again against you in another live lesson. No, what are some bad habits you have? Let me know in the chat. And if you don't put any, we're going to finish the live stream. Simple as that. So what are some bad habits you have? What are some bad habits you have? It's like spoiled cheese. Spoiled cheese tastes better than Marmite. Yeah, a kleptomaniac, people use it as a kleptomaniac is a person that steals things in general. But a shoplifter is a person that only they steal things specifically from a shop or a store. Okay. Do I have some bad habits, teacher? No, I am perfect. I have no bad habits. What? Lying is a bad habit. No, because it's just like it's like those Greek gods, like perfect. Greek gods actually have many bad habits. That's why I like a Greek, but perfection. No, I got nail biting, yes. Smoking, no. Excessive drinking, depends on the occasion, but in general, now, no. When I was younger, yes. Constantly checking my phone, no. Spending too much time on social media, maybe, but I do it for work. So I have to spend too much time on social media. Eating too much junk food, nah. Being consistently late, never. Engaging in healthy relationships, no. This is a healthy relationship. Okay, for us, we think it's healthy. Other people think, oh my God, you two people, you got problems. What else we got here? Lying and exaggerating. No, I like you. No, I do like it. That's not a lie. We do like each other, usually. Depends on if you wake me up early or not. Blaming other people. It wasn't me, it was Ange. No, I didn't do it. It wasn't my fault, it was Ange. It sometimes happens. If something terrible happens on screen, if something happens in a live stream, Ange is the executive producer. Remember, that's her official title. So it's her responsibility, never me. What did I miss one? Which one did I miss? Number 9, picking your nose. Yeah, probably like about 10 times a day. Just I know sometimes you got to use something to like your nose. You got to do this. Sometimes it doesn't work. So yeah. I'm honest, and I get into trouble with my honesty sometimes. Complaining too much, yeah, sometimes I complain, but not too much. I just complain in general, just like 23 hours a day. Being pessimistic, no, I'm not pessimistic. I'm usually more optimistic, usually in a bad way. I'm a realist. What about this? Procrastination? Yeah, sometimes I procrastinate. I don't want to. Like sometimes I have to clean the audio for the videos that I create for YouTube, and I'm like, I don't want to clean. I have to clean the audio. It's like I don't want to do it because it takes time. I don't want to do it, and I just leave it. And then it's like midnight. Oh, I've got to finish it. Yeah. So sometimes I procrastinate. Not getting enough sleep, yep, that happens. Burping's not on the list. Yep, I do that. Neglecting personal hygiene. No, I'm very careful with my hygiene. I like to smell like roses and not a dump. Impulse buying or spending too much money on unnecessary purchases. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But it's not a habit. It's not a bad habit. Like just sometimes. Just occasionally. It's like, oh, shiny thing. Anyway, being overly messy or disorganized. No, that's not my bad habits. So tell me about your bad habits. Let's go back up. Oh, it's been a great experience. That's great. Thank you, Bruno, for joining us. Same time every day. No, same time every day. Every week, same time, same time, same day. Every week, just come along, join in the conversation or whatever we're doing. I sleep too much. That's your bad habit. It can be good for you sometimes, but depends. 16 hours. Yeah, just reduce it a bit. I don't have any. You're like. You're like me. I don't have any. I'm perfect. So exaggerating, yeah, that's a bad. Lying is a bad habit. Like I say, that's number 10. Cheating on a test, that can be. Is that your bad habit? Are you confessing your bad habit? So cheating on a test is your bad habit. Nail biting. It's a really bad. It needs to stop. So that's something I don't remember. I don't remember my he's drinking. I don't remember my bad habits as he bites his nails and he's drinking. They say I'm always late. Okay, some people do that. It's a completely different way of learning. Picking nose, maybe. Yep, it happens. Not going to the gym. I have a body of a god, unfortunately. It is Buddha's. Yeah, it can be a bad habit. Just doing exercise is a good habit. My bad habit is eating junk food. I can imagine that, Jacqueline. Eating lots of junk food. You must remember, teacher. Yep. Oh, you remember that from another lesson about vegetables and fruit. What fruit and vegetable do you eat? And you said like something like junk food. Yeah, I mean, there's salad. There's like some lettuce in the McDonald's burger. There's a tomato sometimes. That's my vegetables. I remember you saying something like that. Old people are picking their nose in the traffic lights. You look over there and they're like got their finger up there. I mean, yeah, because it's hard to pick your nose when you're moving because your head moves like this. Yes, that happens, Vanessa. Biting my nails, mostly when I'm nervous. Are you nervous now? Before you started with 5 centimeters, now it's down to 0. That's what happens in these English lessons. Eat too much sweet food. That's not a bad habit. I eat lots of sweet food too. Icing. It's not a bad habit. It's like essential. This is a great expression, Ellen. I have a sweet tooth. Okay, there could be a bad habit. Now you mentioned if you do it constantly, like it's sort of a bad habit of some of us in this room. Okay, there are 2 people in this room. Me more than you. I neither confirm nor deny that. I confess my bad habits only to the priest. So you go every day, do you? No, those are your sins. These are just bad habits. I do cheat on the quiz. Google. So I put, what is the correct answer? A, B, C. Okay, I'm going to remember this. You don't like the exercises either? Okay. No, except no, you can't put that in there because YouTube bans it. I'm sorry, Tomic, we can't put that there because it's automatically banned by YouTube. Yeah. So this was a wonderful conversation about bad habits today. Remember, you can take all of the things we learned today about picking your nose and burping and eating with your mouth open and lying and everything like that. You can take that to an elegant restaurant next time. Again, a special thank you to our YouTube members, the Woodward friends. They've got the new member that just joined us also. Javier is his name. Thank you for joining us. Yep, you get all these benefits as a member, including just something we started doing. This one here. So you can download this. You can download this, use it with your students, make notes, do whatever you like. Okay. So thank you. What's the difference between, good question, Jorge. What's the difference between bad habits and bad manners? That's a great question. We could probably talk about another hour about this. Okay, a bad habit are these habits that we've already talked about. They are negative and they happen. It's like picking your nose is a bad habit, for example, picking your nose. But bad manners are when people are not polite or courteous or with other people. For example, someone says, hello, they go to shake your hand. Hello, good to see you. And they ignore you. That is not a bad habit. That is bad manners. Okay. Or for example, bad manners, they don't say thank you. Here we go, that's for you. And they don't say thank you. That is bad manners. It's not a bad, if they don't say thank you all of the time, that's a bad habit and bad manners. But bad manners is, just not being polite, educated in social situations. So that is the difference, okay? So thank you, everyone, for joining in today. I hope you have an awesome week. Next week, same time, same day. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. I do have something planned, but I just can't remember it right now. But so next time, joining us next time. Same day, same channel. Great lesson. Thank you, everyone. I will stay in the chat just for a bit more so I can read all of the final messages. But until next time, take care, stay safe. And if you're a Spanish speaker, I do a live lesson on Thursday afternoon for Latin America or the Americas, Central America, South America, North America, and which is Friday for me, but it's Thursday for you. So if you speak Spanish, join us on the other channel where I explain things in Spanish. Join us over there, okay? So thank you. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and have an awesome week.